Dun dun dun. Hi, it's G from the Academy. Here's another article of interest for you. And remember, this is because health is wealth. The article has the title, Another Reason to Shun Pollution. It also pollutes children's cognitive growth. Here we go. People living in the city already have a lot to contend with. But a study published in the journal Environmental Research, did you know there was a journal called Environmental Research, points out that children living near busy roads face even more risks because of air pollution. The study, led by researchers from the Eunice Kennedy Shriver National Institute of Child Health and Human Development, did you know that that existed? NICHD revealed that exposure to traffic-related air pollution can negatively impact the ability of children to communicate, socialize, and learn. You know, it's interesting, we're all supposed to be compacted into these cities, and we just end up living on top of one another when there's more than enough space for everybody. And don't get me wrong, there are advantages to living in areas where there are larger populations. Anyway, let's continue. Our results suggest that it may be prudent to minimize exposure to air pollution during pregnancy, infancy, and early childhood, all key periods for brain development, explained NICHD investigator and senior author Pauline Mendola. For the study, the team looked at data from the Upstate Kids study, an NICHD-led project which tracks the growth and motor and social development of nearly 6,000 children in New York State, excluding New York City. Then they matched the addresses of the participants to a roadway dataset, which measured each location to the nearest major highway. The team matched each location with estimated pollution data from the Environmental Protection Agency. Aside from their home addresses, the team also matched the mother's work address during pregnancy and any daycare centers used to determine possible exposures. Interesting set of data that was collated there. I wonder if there are other factors at play as well. Um, I often wonder about the cell phones and the Wi-Fi systems and the digital communications data networks, whether or not they have some kind of impact on the human body and maybe even the human mind. It's also interesting that lots of the progress in technology seems to have a negative effect on humans. Children included in the study were tested using the Ages and Stages questionnaire, which measured the 5 domains of child development. Fine motor skills, those that involve eye-hand coordination such as writing, grasping small objects, and fastening clothes. Large motor skills, actions that require larger movements involving the arms, feet, or the entire body. These are also referred to as gross motor skills. Or gross. Gross rather than gross, I think. Well, maybe it depends which part of the planet you're on. Communication. For Infants' communication is through cries, coos, facial expression, and body language. Receptive communication refers to the ability of the child to understand a message from another person, while expressive communication is the ability to convey a message through sound and body language. Um, some adults need to work on these skills, I think. Personal social functioning. This refers to the child's ability to relate to family relationships as well as exhibit self-care. Problem-solving ability. The child's ability to understand the world around him or her and apply it through remembering, problem-solving, and decision-making. Once again, skills that adults should perhaps work on. Living near major roadways is linked to lower scores. Based on the results, children who lived just over 100 feet away from a major highway were twice as likely to fail tests that measured communication compared to those living half a mile away or more. The researchers also found that children who lived near major roadways were exposed to ozone and fine particle matter, which are pollutants produced by car emissions. The pollutants are smaller than the diameter of human hair and can pass through the lungs and be directly absorbed into the bloodstream. Quite frightening, really. In an earlier study in the American Journal of Respiratory and Critical Care Medicine, did you know that that existed? Researchers from Utah concluded that exposure to PM 2.5, that's fine particulate matter, could potentially cause respiratory infections in young children. I guess they have to include the word potentially. Children who were exposed to PM 2.5 while in the womb had a higher risk of failing in any developmental domain, while those exposed to ozone from vehicle emissions were more likely to fail a specific domain. I wonder if smoking and inhaling passive smoke maybe also has some effect. These problems get worse with age. Children exposed to ozone after birth were more likely to be left lagging in their overall development. For lead author Sandy Ha, while the reasons for increased risk in developmental delay after birth are unclear, the association is still troubling. Unlike exposure during pregnancy, exposure during childhood is more direct and does not go through a pregnant woman's defenses. There we go. There are no defenses. Once you're out, you're out. That's it. The brain has no firewall. Efforts to minimize air pollution exposures during critical development windows may be warranted, the team concluded. Sources for this article include dailymail.co.uk, sciencedaily.com, verywellfamily.com, babycentre.co.uk, pathways.org, link.springer.com, sproutsdevelopment.com, atsjournals.org, ehn.org. Thank you very much for considering this topic with me. It was published at naturalnews.com on the 1st of October 2019. Again, the title is Another Reason to Shun Pollution. It also pollutes children's cognitive growth. And as we all know, it's worth remembering that health is wealth. Wherever you are, take care and have a healthy day. I'll speak to you soon.